Hi, I'm Nadina from Conscious Change, and in this video I'm going to talk about 10 different mind games that narcissists like to play. These type of mind games apply to all narcissists and in any type of relationship, whether that's a romantic partner, co-worker, friend or family member. We're going to look at the different ways that they manipulate you using these tactics and also find out the why behind their actions. I'm going to show you how to handle these games and also how to avoid falling for their traps. So before we get started, remember to hit the subscribe button below and also the little notification bell to get alerted when new content comes out. I'll have new videos coming out every week, so make sure to hit that bell to get notified. Okay, so number one, love bombing. We all know that this is the narcissist's favorite trick. It's pretty much the hallmark of all narcissists. Even colleagues, bosses, narcissistic friends do this on some level. It's not just romantic partners. Initially, they put you up on a pedestal, tell you how great you are, how they've never met anyone like you, they've never felt this way about anyone before, etc., etc. If it's a boss, they might tell you they're really pleased with your work, they're so glad that they hired you, you do such a great job, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. So why do they do it? Well, primarily they're testing you. They want to see if you're falling for it. And then if you are, then that tells them that you're a prime target to extract more supply from. And they also love bomb you to get you to fall for them quickly. Or in the case of, say, a boss or a co-worker, they want you to buy into them as a person and put your trust in them early on. So they'll study you and they'll mirror back to you your interests, hobbies, likes, dislikes, and basically become a mirror version of you. This is so that you think, wow, we've got so much in common. What they want you to think is you found your soulmate. So for example, say you tell them you love a certain type of music. They'll tell you that they too also love this type of music. And then one day you go to put this type of music on and you realize that they actually can't stand it. But you remember so clearly in the beginning that they told you they loved it. So there's this incongruence between their words and their actions. The two never match up, which is what causes confusion. Has this happened to you? If so, let me know in the comments below. Mind game number two. They want to know every little thing about you, but tell you nothing about them. This kind of ties in with love bombing. In order for them to become the person you've always wanted to meet, they need to know who you are as a person so that they can match that. So they'll put all their attention on you, asking you everything there is to know about you. But when it comes to them, they reveal very little about themselves and tend to kind of deflect any questions you might ask. They need to know who you are first so that they can build their persona around who you are, basically, and mirror back the correct image. You'll find they're doing this, that the conversation is always focused on you and there's little room to ask anything in return. If you do ask, you'll usually just be met with some kind of vague response because they don't want to say anything that will conflict with your beliefs. Number three, again, this ties in with the last 2 points. They'll quickly try to build rapport with you and even go as far as pretending to share the same religious beliefs so that you feel you can trust them and begin to open up more. If we feel that we share similar beliefs with someone and can trust them, we'll be much quicker to divulge our secrets, which is exactly what the narcissist wants. What they're actually doing in this moment is trying to get you to reveal your secrets and tell them who you are as a person so that they can use that against you at a later date. They're simply collating info against you and can often pretend to open back up to you too, so you feel like you're bonding with them. But in reality, they're just making stuff up to try and win over your trust so that they have something to use against you at a later date. Pretty sick, right? Mind game number 4. Narcissists love to play the victim, right? They do this to garner sympathy and also to deflect attention away from their own predatory intentions because it makes people feel sorry for them and want to help them. But they also do this to test how easily taken in you are. They know that if you buy their poor me story, that you're way more likely to buy into anything else they tell you further down the line. Narcissists love tolerant and empathic people, and by playing the victim, they get to gauge if you're the type that will be there for them, where other less tolerant people wouldn't. It's really just a test to see if you're the type of person who'll tolerate their abuse. They usually come out with it very early on in meeting you. They don't want to waste time on anyone that won't provide them with the supply that they desperately desire. So they will give you that pity ploy pretty much from the get-go to test what kind of supply you're going to be in the future. Mind game number 5. Ever noticed how the narcissist accuses you of doing exactly the very things that they were actually up to themselves? You look back and you realize that everything they accused you of was actually what they were doing to you. This is another mind game that they like to play. They'll insistently point the finger at you for things you haven't done, almost to the point of rage. They want you to drive yourself crazy trying to prove yourself to them. In the meantime, this diverts the attention away from what they're actually doing behind your back. This is one of the biggest giveaways of what they're actually up to behind your back. You can pretty much guarantee that anything that they're accusing you of is actually something that they're doing. Mind game number 6. Narcissists hate when you accomplish anything good in your life because in their twisted minds, they're the only person that's allowed to achieve good things and experience good stuff. It drives them insane to see others achieving things that they haven't been able to achieve. And even if they have achieved notable things for themselves, they still don't like to see others progress. They see themselves as superior to everyone, so to see someone else progress is threatening for them in their minds. So how they deal with this is by treating your wins with indifference. What they usually do is like passively acknowledge your achievement and then quickly change the subject, like, oh, so anyway, and then go on to talk about something completely unrelated without giving you any real type of validation or recognition. Have you noticed this? If you have, let me know in the comments below. And then that way you can't accuse them of not having acknowledged what you said, because technically they have acknowledged it, but just in a very indifferent and invalidating way. Mind game number 7. When you're in a romantic relationship with a narcissist, they'll push your boundaries to see how much you'll tolerate. And one of the ways they do this is by flirting with other people in front of you, because they want to see how much you'll tolerate, but also to make you jealous and feel insecure at the same time. They need constant supply, so they'll use this type of mind game and cause an argument, which also gets some supply, but at the same time provoking you into giving them attention. You see, for a narcissist, even negative attention is still attention. In fact, it's even better because there's drama involved and they get to see how much you care. And the fact that you got upset over them, it's a major win for them in their eyes. Mind game number 8. If you're in a romantic relationship with a narcissist, after the honeymoon phase has passed, often they can start to deny you sex. They want to break your self-esteem and make you feel unworthy. And one of the ways they do this is by making you feel undesirable or unattractive. It doesn't usually hurt them to deny you sex because often they have a side person for that anyway, so their needs are still being met. And what they want is for you to beg them for it and to get into a deep discussion about it and basically make you feel like you're not enough for your own partner. Mind game number 9 that narcissists love to play is provoking you before a big event or like a family type of gathering. They will deliberately start an argument with you before you're due to leave for somewhere important. So by the time you get there, you're either stressed out, angry, or just look plain miserable. Of course, as soon as they walk through the door, the narcissist turns on their charm and everyone ends up thinking that you're the problematic one because they don't realize that the narcissist has actually orchestrated it to play out this way. And the cherry on top for the narcissist is that everyone ends up feeling sorry for them, thinking, oh God, poor thing, like they have to put up with this miserable, problematic partner or child or whoever you may be to them. Last but not least, mind game number 10 is negative humor. They love to have a laugh at your expense. The joke's always on you. It's never on them, right? Should you dare respond back to them with the same type of humor, they usually just fly into a narcissistic rage. Remember, they're allowed to shame you, but don't you dare think of doing the same back to them. Should you decide to stand up for yourself, you'll be told that you're too sensitive or you can't take a joke. That's their way of gaslighting you into believing that you're the problem. You just need to lighten up a bit. If this sounds familiar, remember to share it with someone that might find it useful. You never know who this might help. Basically, what it boils down to when you're dealing with a narcissist is that you want to avoid playing into their games at any cost. As soon as you recognize what they're doing, take a step back and don't allow yourself to get drawn into it, because that's exactly what they want. The only way to win a narcissist game is not to play it in the first place. The reality is that they think they're smarter and superior to everyone else. But if they truly believe that deep down, they wouldn't feel the need to play these games in the first place. Healthy, secure people don't play games, full stop. So educate yourself on the techniques for dealing with narcissists, like grey rock, observe, don't absorb, and practice discernment with meeting new people that come into your life. I think often we can get caught up in explaining ourselves and trying to help the narcissist understand like what a good partner is or should be. But really the key is just to starve them of supply. Cutting off the supply and walking away, if you can. I know those that share children with a narcissist don't have this option, but really in the end, the only solution is no contact when you're dealing with a toxic individual. Okay, so I hope you've gotten something from this video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe and share it with anyone you think could benefit. And let me know below if you've experienced any of these things. Remember, we can all help each other learn and grow here. So let's share our experiences below.